Welcome to the John Clarence Gomez Show. I'm your host, John Clarence Gomez, and my guest today is British actress Nicole Faraday. Uh, hi, hi, Nicole. Can you
Hello.
introduce yourself?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Uh, uh, can you introduce about yourself to our listeners?
Yeah, sure. So I'm an actress and a singer. I trained in musical theatre, but people most know me for my television and film roles. I was in a television series that went on all around the world called Bad Girls, set in a women's prison, and I played a drug smuggling, murdering, evil character, and I blew the prison up, and I escaped lots, and then I ended up killing myself. Then I was a doctor on a series called Casualty, which was a medical series, and then I was in a soap opera as well called Emmerdale for a few episodes. But people also know me for my theatre work because I sing. So I've done lots of theatre productions as well. In fact, I've literally just finished performing in pantomime for Christmas. Mm.
Uh, uh, how did you choose to become an actress in the early days? How did you choose to become an actress?
So ever since I was a little girl, I always enjoyed doing performances. I used to go to my local church. I used to do the local church productions, all the school productions. I always took part in, and it was my hobby really. So growing up, I was part of the local theatre groups. I used to do the local amateur dramatics shows, etc. And where some people kind of grow out of it and just treat it as a hobby, I always thought I would really like this if it was my job, because if it hadn't have been my job, it would have still been my hobby. So I'm very lucky that my career is something that I have always enjoyed doing and is something that I would have always wanted to do, even if it wasn't my job. So then I went to drama school, and I went to one of the top drama schools in the world, actually. Well, definitely in the country, called Guildford School of Acting, which specialises in musical theatre. So it was as much about singing, acting, and dancing. Although I'm not so good at dancing, but it was as much about singing and performing in theatre as it was about acting. And I've been fortunate that my career has been a mixture of film, television, and theatre and singing.
What is the difference a bit on your opinion? What is the difference for you when you are acting on theater and television and film?
Okay, that's an interesting question. They're actually very, very different. So, as I said, my background was musical theatre. I trained as a theatre actress mainly, although nowadays I think at drama school they train you for TV and film as well. In those days, it was very much theatre based training. So when I first got my big break in television, as I said, the TV show Bad Girls, they kept telling me, make your face, do less, do less. They said I was, because I was so used to performing in the theatre, everything has to be larger than life in theatre, because you think people are sat right at the back of the theatre. There might be, a couple of thousand people watching you, and you need to make sure that everyone can see what's going on. So although you still base your performance in truth, in theatre, things tend to be bigger, larger than life, whereas in television, because the camera picks up every single little movement in your face, in television, you have to kind of be smaller than in life. So it's actually quite a different thing. The other thing is in theatre, you have the immediate response from the audience. So it's more exciting in a way because you're performing. If you go wrong, they'll all see you and you have the adrenaline rush. Like the only thing I can compare it to is I went paragliding once off a 6,500-foot mountain, and that buzz, that feeling that you get, the adrenaline rush, is similar to what you get when you're doing a performance in front of an audience, a live audience. But with television, it's not live, so it can feel more like a day job. You go in, and although it's still exciting to have the job, and you're excited months later when it comes out, but at the time, it's just like, hello, you turn up, you do the job, and then you go home again. So you don't have that kind of exciting feeling at the time. But then obviously it's exciting a few months later when you get to see it in the cinema or on the television. But it's not, it's just a very different kind of a feeling.
Yes, yes. For me, the difference between acting on screen and which is TV and film and acting on stage, which is theater, the difference is like doing mistake because if you are acting on TV and film, if there's a mistake, there is a cut, and it can be do it again. Unlike in theater, it is different because you need to perfect your acting, perfect it during the rehearsal, so your acting can be really great on the stage, because in the stage you cannot make a mistake when you are acting during a play or a musical. That's the difference that I see.
That is true. Although I have to say, in television, sometimes it depends on the budget. So if they haven't got a big budget, they might say to you, when you say, "Oh, can I do it again?" They might say, "No, sorry, we don't have time or the money." So sometimes you can't do it as many times. Well, if it's a big mistake, they let you do it again. But sometimes you don't get to do it as many times as you'd like to do it. So there can be mistakes like in television as well. You're reliant on so many different departments: the sound department, the lighting department, the set. There's so many things going on that it's not just about your performance. So you might say, "Oh, I did that scene brilliantly," but they might say, "Oh no, there was an aeroplane overhead, so we can't use that one." And then you'll think, that's really annoying because that was the best one I did, but because it's affected by other things. Whereas on the stage, it's only you that you're relying on, really. And so I think I prefer the stage, but then being, if you're on the television or you're in a film, then you're current, and then it means that you get offered more theatre roles. So they kind of go alongside each other.
Yes, also the best thing about theater, uh, one of the best thing is the people watching you, and if you perform great, the people will clapping on you, cheer on you. Unlike on TV,
Yes.
that there are no people, that you will never hear a people clapping on you on TV. Only the director and the staff
No, exactly.
can see you. Yes, that's the difference
Exactly. Yes.
in the TV and theater.
It's
So
a nicer live feeling.
yes, it's about
It is a
feeling.
nicer feeling
Yes,
performing live. For your
yes, that's right. uh, because in theater, when you watch a theater, for example, a Broadway or West End musical, after they perform, for example, the Phantom of the Opera, after they perform, the actor and actress and the cast, they really really smile when they were bow and people are clapping. That's the best thing about acting in theater.
yes.
Yes. Also, you are in the in Bad Girls, in the musical Bad Girls. Can you tell about our listeners about that experience on Bad
Yeah,
Girls, the
certainly. So
musical?
as I said to you, yeah. So my big break, as I said to you, really was how people first really knew me when I became famous. I suppose in the 2002 onwards was me being in the television series. But then my character killed herself, and so the producers of the television series called me in for a meeting after I'd finished shooting the series, and I thought maybe I was coming back to life. But instead, they said, "No, no, no, you're definitely dead. But we've written this idea for a stage show based on the same storyline." Although the stage show was based on series 1 to 3, whereas my character in the TV show was in series 4 and 5. So they asked me to play a different role in the musical to the one I played in the TV series, which was quite interesting because it was a different blonde, glamorous, evil character. But it was actually a character that in the TV series, she had bullied my character. So I was playing my own bully in the theatre, which is bizarre. And it was great. It was a great opportunity as an actor because you don't often get this chance to be in the same world, so the world of Bad Girls, but coming at it from two completely different characters' point of view. Because although they look quite similar, Shell and Snowball, which are the two characters I played, they were quite different as people. They were from different places. You know, they had very different storylines. So Bad Girls, the musical, really brought together all aspects of my career because it was the background I trained in musical theatre. So it was great to be in an original cast of a brand new show in the West End, and we did this film version of it, and we did a CD cast recording of it, so you can download that. So that was all really exciting. But it was based on a world that I knew because it was based on the the TV series world that I'd just finished filming in. So it was kind of it was an amazing job because it pulled together both sides of my career, really.
Yes. the most interesting about filming, creating a movie version of a musical, the best interesting is the so-called duration. For example, the Into the Woods movie in 2014 versus the original stage version of Into the Woods. The Into the Woods musical, the stage version is very longer, while the movie version is shorter. Just that's the one of the most interesting about making a musical,
Yeah,
making an stage musical into a movie, turning it into a movie, making it short, unlike the stage. Yes.
yeah. I suppose with Bad Girls, it's different in the fact that because it was a TV show first, then they made it into a musical. They based the musical on storylines that had run through 3 years of series, but they just picked and choose. They picked certain storylines, and because it's a theatre piece, it had to be like 2 hours long, had to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So obviously, it didn't cover all the things that people would have seen on the TV series, but it was meant to encapsulate that world, but have overarching stories that were relevant to people or that were quite important storylines for people at the time that had come from the TV series.
Yes. Yes, that's difference. Also, I I want to say shout out to one of my friends in the UK. Her name is Jopin. She is an a person that who wants to become an actress in the future. She is my friend.
Oh, good luck to her. Wishing her very much luck.
She is doing a panto right now on amateur theater. Can you
Oh,
say
is she?
hello to Jo Pinch? Can you say hello to her? She I hope she is listening.
Oh, yes. Hello. Best of luck. Best
Yeah.
of luck with everything. And I started out doing amateur pantomime too. My first ever amateur pantomime. I was 12, and I was the princess in Aladdin. And now that I'm a grown up, now I'm a professional actress. I play all the baddies. But when I was young, I used to play the princess.
Yeah. Yeah, I also have a friend in the UK, because I'm in the theater table with group where where I do a table with on Zoom via Zoom. It is a virtual table with group in Facebook where I do on Zoom. They are my friends. They are my and it is international. I have friends from the US, UK, Australia who do in
That's
a
great.
table.
It's
And
nice to have friends from all around the world.
yes,
I perform at a festival every September. I perform at a festival in Spain, in Mallorca. And there are people that come from all over the world. So I'm really lucky. I'm the same. I have international friends. It's always nice when through your work you get to meet people from all around the world. I think it's good to remember the world is not that big a place, and that we're all connected somehow. It's nice to have friends from all around the world.
yes. Because uh I'm in a table with group on Facebook, a virtual table with group where they held on Zoom, and I have many friends there from US, UK, and Australia and Canada, and and also I want to shout out to one of my friends there from the UK, Simon Docherty. He is an amateur theater actor. I want to say shout out to my friend Emma Clandon. She is a Lane Theater Arts graduate, who is now a
Huh?
dance teacher. She is one of my friends. We do table with. Yes, I want to say shout out to them. I hope they are doing
Shout
great.
out to them too. Lane's is a brilliant drama school. Well,
Yeah.
it's a very dance. She must be very good at dancing.
Yes. Also, I see on your Instagram story before we do the interview that you are doing a master class, to many people who wants to become a theater, like a master class or online coaching. Can you promote it to our listeners on this podcast?
Yeah, sure. So I've. It's the good thing is actually it started again through Bad Girls in the fact that because Bad Girls the musical is very female led because it's set in a women's prison. It's one of the few musicals where nearly all the characters are female. So a lot of drama schools and amateur theatre groups, because I'm sure you've probably realised, it tends to be more women than men that go to these drama groups. Or at drama school, there are more girls than boys. It seems to be. So therefore, Bad Girls the musical is a very popular piece for people to perform because it's got some really good, strong female roles in it. And it's a good ensemble piece with lots of parts all around the same size, but they're all women. So I got originally asked if I would go and do a workshop with people that were studying Bad Girls the Musical, and I really enjoyed it. And now, when people do Bad Girls the Musical, if it's an amateur group or a drama school all around the country, sometimes abroad, even in Spain, I went and taught. I put on a full scale production in Barcelona at a drama school over there for international students. So I've done masterclasses for Bad Girls the Musical, and off the back of that, then I realised that people were interested in me teaching them more how to act and also how to sing, or acting through song, because it's very important. You can't just stand and sing a song in a nice way to sound pretty. You have to actually create a character and really think about the words that you're singing. And so, therefore, I've taught again all over the place, both in person at drama schools and at amateur groups and local drama groups, but also I teach. I have students from all over the place that I teach via Zoom. Like I've got students in Scotland, students in Spain, who I can't physically be in the same room as, but we're able to teach via Zoom. And I think since COVID, a lot of people have managed to move their work online, and it's quite successful. I think people are quite used to, well, like we're speaking now, people are now quite used to connecting in that way. And so it's good for me from a teaching point of view, because it means I can teach anywhere in the world.
Can you tell to our listeners how they can book you for online coaching or masterclass?
Yeah, sure. If they contact me either via my website, which is www. I'm so sorry, my dog's doing a funny thing. Sorry. My website is www.nicolefaraday.co.uk, and they can message me via there, or they can on as you contacted me, they can contact me on Instagram, which is Nicole Faraday, or Facebook, which is also Nicole Faraday. So there, and even Twitter, although I don't use Twitter much anymore, but that's Nikki Farr, at Nikki Farr. So yeah, if they just Google Nicole Faraday, there's lots of different ways they can contact me. But I'm happy to always take on more students. Yeah.
Yes. Before we end, this is the last question. What can you give a little advice to people who wants to become an actress in the actor or actress in the future? Can you give them a little advice to them?
Yeah, a bit of advice. So I would say do as much as you can, make as many connections as you can, because it is, although it's about talent, it is also about who you know and who you come across. And if you come across well, people will recommend you for the future. Quite a lot of my work I've got through word of mouth. Someone has suggested me because I've done something else, and they've said, "Oh, I think Nikki would be good for that." So, so yeah, make as many connections as you can. There are lots of online things that you can look up, like Mandy.com is a website that you can put your profile on, which regularly advertises castings. You can also contact universities that have film colleges, or film courses, because they're always looking for actors for their technical people that are training to be technical. Like, say, someone's training to be a director or a cameraman, they need people to be able to put them in their films. So if you contact the universities and the film schools and just say, I'd like to be in your pool of actors to be used for these films, then it means that you get experience in front of the camera, and you usually get paid. It's not normally a very small amount because it's students, but it's a good way to build up your portfolio and build a show reel. So once you've done a few student films, you can put them together. I know young people these days are so good at technology. I'd have to pay someone to do it, but I'm sure they can do it. And then that means that they can then approach agents. If you approach a good agent, then agents can then open the door for you being seen for much bigger jobs like television and film roles. But it's good if you want to make your own luck, I would say do that. Write off to some people, see what experience you can get locally, doing local theatre. Get involved in local acting groups. On Facebook, there's lots of groups as well. If you
Yes.
type in acting in the area you live in, you might find that there are different Facebook support groups for people that want to get performing roles and casting roles. Can we just pause 1 second? I just have to let my dog out. I'm so sorry. 1 second. Me? Sorry, she gets bored around this time. Yeah, So there's lots of different avenues, but I think just it's no good someone sitting at home and saying, "Oh, I really want to be an actor." What they should really be doing is getting as much experience as they can and trying to get themselves known, try and make contacts within the industry, and then obviously. If you're able to go audition for and train at one of the top drama schools, that will give you a really good grounding in the industry and tell you an awful lot more about how to get on in the industry.
Yes. Uh, Thank you for guesting to my. That's a nice advice. And thank you for guesting to my podcast, Nicole. And I forgot to say that. I forgot to shout out my friends from the US. Carla Wen, Carla Wen, Jennifer Pinger, Chris Diaz, Deva Wade, Matthew Shepard, Elise Nicole Sujak, Russell Greenstone, and one of my friends there. Uh, I want to shout out is Andrew Long. Yes, I want to shout out
Awesome.
them, one of
I'd
my
like to say
friends.
hello to all of them as well. I've got a
Yes,
very good friend that's recently moved back to New York called Noreen. She lived in England for a long time, but she's a great friend of mine. She's just moved back to New York, so I'm going to be going to visit her later this year. So that I'm looking forward to that. That will be exciting.
yes. I also forgot to mention one of my friends from the US too, Maggie Merritt. She is a great playwright and she is one of my friends. We met in a theater group in
Oh,
Facebook and
brilliant.
yeah, she is
Well, if she needs any actors, I'm available.
a great playwright. Yes, and I want to shout out one of my friends from the UK also. That I forgot, Ellie Clayton and Hope Twig. Ellie Clayton is one of my friends who wants to become an actress in the future
Oh,
also.
excellent. Well,
Yeah.
good luck to her too.
Yes.
Hopefully it will happen.
Yes.
It's lovely to meet you. Thank you for
Yes.
having me,
Bye.
John.
Yes. Thank you
Bye
for
bye.
guesting on my podcast. Bye.
No problem.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.